I'm trying to do it all tonight. I got plans.
Hey guys, so I basically I wanted to make a video for y'all about my interview and like process that I've been going through with MAC Cosmetics and getting a job through them. So if you wanted to get a job at MAC, I'm pretty sure you've been Googling and like YouTubing videos on how to get a job at MAC. And that's what I did, and that's the smart thing to do. But that's what I did, and it just gives you some insight, like you know what to expect or go into. There's plenty of YouTubers who have like and beauty gurus and stuff like that who have made videos about their process that they've went through. By far, I think the person who was most helpful in their whole like and informative and stuff like that in their video for me was PrincessJoules, and I will link her link. I will add it in my description of this video. Her video on this whole thing was just really insightful. I recently applied as today I had an interview for the freelance position, and for those of you who don't know what freelancing is just you apply to a Mac, and if you get the interview, then and you get the job as a freelancer, you're not going to be working at a specific Mac. Yeah, you'll probably work for the one you apply for, but you can work at any Mac. Like you can work for anyone. If you have an event, they have an event or they need extra people, then they'll probably call you, and that's when you work. You don't have a specific schedule or anything like that. You're just basically on call. So that's what the freelancing position is. And if you really love makeup and you really love MAC and you really want to be there, I would recommend doing freelancing. Like, I don't think that to do freelancing is like, I mean, some people don't want to do freelance and some people want the permanent position. If you really are that dedicated, I would just assume that you would want to work for MAC whichever way you can do it, because you can still end up crossing over and becoming a permanent employee. But if you want the job that badly and they're I would just recommend trying to do the freelance position. I didn't know about the freelance position until maybe a week ago when I was watching YouTube videos. I found out about it. But oh my gosh, it's so much in my head right now, and I'm trying to think about how to tell you guys everything. But I've been wanting to work for Max since maybe my freshman year in college, and I'm going into my senior year now, so it's been a while. And I just found out about the freelance position. I probably would have been done it, but whatever. But I would recommend. Okay, so this is what I would recommend if you for freelancing. If you don't have experience in like retail. B, if you don't have really experience in like makeup, actually working in makeup, but you know what you're doing pretty much, like you know how to do makeup, like you're knowledgeable about it. Um, that's or if obviously if the store isn't hiring for full-time employees, but you really, really, really want to work at MAC and that's like what you want to do, I would recommend trying to do freelancing. So if you don't have retail experience, two, if you have never worked in makeup, and three, if the store isn't hiring, because like you're freelancing, you're going to get your feet wet, like you're going to learn things, you're going to see what it's like to actually work at Mac. So I would recommend doing freelancing, and a lot of people start off freelancing first. So if you have the opportunity to freelance and you had your mind set on doing actually having a permanent part in the store, just try it out, like try freelancing, and see if you like it. So that's just my recommendation. As far as my process went with the whole application and everything, like I said, I have been trying to get a job at Mac since freshman year, like so long time, and they weren't hiring. Where I'm at, a lot of people don't quit at that location. The turnover rate is really low because it's a small city. If it was a bigger city, it'd probably be more room for advancement and to actually to like get a job there as a permanent employee. But with such a small city, most people who work there have been working there for years and haven't quit, so there's no room to hire new people. Um, so I was kind of sad about that, but then I heard about the freelancing opportunity, and which was like recently, and I went to go apply because I just have been like I have been thinking about it so hard. Like I just can't wait until I go back home and I can apply for actual job in Mac. So when the freelancing opportunity came along, I was like, that's perfect. Like I'll do that until I go home, and I had an interview for the freelancing, which is a blessing in itself. Like just to get that far, I felt accomplished because it had been 3 years and I hadn't had an interview. So I felt really good about that. And yeah, it's smart. It's a smart decision to look up what people's experiences are so you'll know what to expect. You won't go in there blindly. So I looked up videos on YouTube even before I actually got an interview. Like I was watching because it's just interesting to me like to learn what it's going to be like if I actually got it. So I was looking up YouTube videos and listening to other girls' experiences, and it was just like wow. So when I actually got the interview, I was so nervous, which it's okay to be because like for me this is like what I want to do with my life. So like to actually get an interview and think about going in and like doing the whole process, like it just really made me nervous because I feel like it's a lot like riding on this or whatever. So um I was really nervous, but I watched the videos. I knew what to expect. First of all, if you get an interview, um, there's a bit of a variation in everybody's journey, but for the most part, it's all the same. You get an interview. It should be about 3 interviews or so, 2 or 3 interviews. So either you'll hold on, somebody's texting me. So I totally lost my train of thought. Basically, the first interview, according to some people, is just like you come in and you sit down and have like a normal interview as you would in any other job. And they're going to ask you questions about Mac, about what you know about Mac, and they're going to ask you interview questions, another text. But they're going to ask you questions like they would in any other interview. And if you pass that, you move on to the next step. For me, I didn't have that. Like for me, my interview process went like I called because I had been trying to get like into different ones in my area. Like that's a smart thing to do. If you're that determined to work at Mac, you'll travel. Like the Mac that I'm applying to that I had an interview for today is probably like 30 minutes away from me. Like that's how determined I am. So it's just like having that drive or whatever. So it's just about having that drive. So for mine, I called this Mac and I was asking them were they hiring for freelance artists, and she said they always are. So I was like, she set me up for an interview, and I went in like she told me to bring a model. So I went in, and I guess my first 2 interviews were together because the second part of the interview is supposed to be when you bring your model and you actually practice doing makeup on her. So I brought the model. You get time to do a look. You get time to pick out your products. They give you the brushes. At least for me, they did. And you get time to do a certain look, and they're going to watch you. They're watching for your interactions with your model. They're watching for your, like, if you're investigating them, like, you're trying to figure out, okay, what kind of skin do you have? Where are you going? Like, just talking to them, being friendly as you would a customer if you were actually doing their face. They want to make sure that you're sanitary. Like, you need to be clean. If you're doing something with their face, like sanitize your hands first. They have sanitizer there, so use it. They're making a wash out your lipsticks and wash out your eyeliner and stuff like that. Like you just have to make sure that you're really like sanitary. Just kind of go into it like you would if you were actually doing somebody's like actually working with a customer. it's nerve-wracking. It was nerve-wracking for me. Like, not actually when I got there to do it, but just thinking about going into it. So if you have nerves and you're like nervous about it, by the time you get up there and do it, it's just going to be like, second nature, because that's what you love to do. That's what it was for me. Like, I was nervous thinking about going to it, but it actually wasn't so bad. So um, after I did my model's face, they told me to do a natural look after I did her face. They told me to now I had 20 minutes to convert that look into a nighttime look. Afterwards, they're going to ask to critique you. Like, they're going to want to know, like, oh, okay, so can I critique you, or just try to give you what I would have done, or stuff like that, just to give you some feedback. And it's not rude. You want to listen, because at the end of the day, like, you want to learn. After I did her face, and she was like, I really like it, but you could have done this. They took a picture of it, and she was like, I really like it, but you could have, done this differently. She said I could add warmer tones, so she took a brown, because my model was light, kind of like a deeper complexion, and she just kind of put it in this area right here to kind of tone the look down a little bit, because it was really kind of, I guess, kind of dark. So she also contoured her face, and she put a little bit of more blush on there than I already had, and basically that's what she did to her face. So she told me she liked it, but that's what she would have done differently. And after that, she asked me to come talk to her, and we did, I guess, what would have been the first part of the interview. We talked, and she just got some basic background history and everything like that off of me, and just kind of fill me out. Hopefully I get it. Like, I'm still waiting to hear something. She told me that I would know in the next week, like I should know by something by then. So hopefully I get it, because like I said, this is my dream, like my ultimate dream, what I want to do. As far as what to wear in your interview, I made a video on what I have on right now. A few people have videos of what they wore. Not a lot. A lot of people basically tell you what to expect in their videos. So I have another video that I filmed this morning about what I wore. But honestly, when I went, and this may vary from MAC to MAC, but when I went to my interview today, I don't think it really mattered that I had this on, like what I had on, honestly. Of course, you're doing an interview, but I was the only model, like I was the only person there interviewing at the time. Like, it wasn't more than one girl's like lined up. I was the only one doing it. So I think that's it. I don't know. But, if you guys have any more questions about anything else that I may have left out, or, anything, feel free to leave a comment, or, I'll get back to you, and I'll answer your questions and stuff from the best of my abilities. Like I said, there's really great people out there who, talked about their experience, their personal experience and everything like that with applying for MAC and stuff like that. So if you have any questions or anything, just comment. I'll get back to you guys. And I'll see you guys later. Thank you for watching.
You just hope that it lasts.